Hello everyone, welcome to a World of Warships Blitz video. Today's video is the next in the series of unique plays, and here we are at Tier 7 with the premium American cruiser, the Atlanta. And this ship is truly unique in a lot of ways. So the Atlanta is basically an anti-aircraft cruiser. It's a bit like the Sirius, but the Sirius just, well, hasn't got anything on the Atlanta. The Atlanta is a blast to play, but games can be perilously short because the Atlanta is extremely fragile and takes citadels like nothing on earth. However, what the Atlanta is good at is AA, and I have mine spec'd for AA. So any planes that fly overhead are flying into the maximum range AA with the maximum buff of AA, and all I'm doing is waiting for the Thomas Kincaid legendary captain to come out on special, and it will be the ultimate AA murdering machine. Of course, a lot of games don't have carriers, so, but still, you've got to have at least one ship that's spec'd for that meme, and this one is. And what it does is it has essentially the ship is basically a whole lot of destroyer turrets on a cruiser hull. So the range of the guns isn't particularly great at 9.55 kilometers. It has a 6-second reload, but it has 8 turrets with 2 guns each. Because of the 2 wing-mounted turrets, you can only ever get 14 guns on target, which is ironically the same as the Agincourt, but you're firing every 6 seconds. Now, these guns have a tremendously high arc, so you can loft them over islands. All you've got to be careful about is if you show too much broadside, you're going to get whacked. The ship is sort of semi-agile as a American cruiser is wont to be, so its maximum traverse speed is 9.2 degrees per second, but it doesn't feel as agile as something like the Leander, for example, or the Fiji, but it might just be perception. It's relatively quick at 32 knots, but yeah, just be careful about showing broadside. Now, it does get one smoke, which is sort of like the get out of jail free card. Once you use it, you better use it to get out of there, because if you're close to an American, if you're close to any sort of battleship and they get a good broadside on you, you can lose a phenomenal amount of health in one hit. But if you can position yourself right and even end on, because you've got those super firing turrets, 3 turrets super firing at the front, plus your wing mounted turrets, you can still get a respectable 10 guns or 8 to 10 guns just weaving backwards and forwards just slightly on target pretty readily. And these things, although they don't have the greatest fire chance in the world, at 3%, the sheer volume of fire, every 6 seconds you can put up to 14 shells out with destroyer dispersion. That 3% can start a lot of fires, so just be aware of it. It does come with torpedo tubes, rather slow moving torpedoes at 62 knots, out to 6.9 kilometers. So they're useful as a bit of a deterrent, but generally if you're showing enough broadside to put out torpedoes, you show enough broadside to get absolutely whacked. Now the base AA on this is 273 with a 4.21 kilometer range. Actually, no, hold on, that's spec for AA, some spec for AA, so it's probably the 3.6 base, but it still has a fairly phenomenal large AA caliber, and that's because those destroyer turrets happen to be dual purpose. So yeah, so it's not quite, it is a unique play. The closest equivalent ships are on one side the Sirius, which is sort of the American, the British Tier 6 premium cruiser, which has sort of 10 guns of 127 or 137 millimeter or something like that. Not as fast loading, so about 7.5 seconds. But yeah, gets a bit of the feel for it, but not really anything close. The other equivalent, I would say, would be something like the Akazuki or the Kitakaze or the Hirogumo, where basically you just spend your entire game mashing the fire button. They have faster rates of fire, so they do feel a little bit different. But if you're looking for equivalencies, that's the amount of fun you can have in the Atlanta, because mashing that button and getting those shots out, just firing them shot after shot after shot after shot, is just absolutely fun. Although, to be fair, you need to learn how to lead your targets, or at least I need to learn how to lead my targets, because I'm getting a lot of misses. And that's probably one of the big disadvantages, apart from its sheer squishiness, and its squishiness is extremely squishy. One of the big disadvantages of it is that the shells take an awful long time in the air, so although you can absolutely murder destroyers, they have to be pretty close to be at risk, and if they hang back or they kite away, you've got to be awfully good with your prediction to be able to land your shells on them. But if they show a lot of broadside like that, you know, it's just absolutely a blast. And because the ship comes with 2 sonar as well as the smoke, you've got an opportunity to see what's coming in the way of torpedoes. See, someone else got them before I could. In fact, I should probably ping my... Oh no, my sonar's already on cooldown. Now, the thing it does, it has the Air Defense Alert 3, so it is very much spec for AA. Get in the middle of your fleet, defend people from airplanes, because they will increase large caliber AA by 100%. And small caliber AA by 200% for 20 seconds. So make sure that your captain is spec'd with the air alert at the level 4 skill, so that you can decrease the cooldown and increase the length of time that that's active, because a 100% increase on your large AA takes it up to over 540, and on your small AA a 200% increase is, well, it's 240 as well. It's 282, it's 246. That small caliber AA is what shreds planes. So just, yeah, if you are thinking, if you do get into a carrier battle, stick with the ships that need protecting. They'll protect you, because as long as there's a larger target around that's detected first, that'll usually attract the fire. Although, to be fair, Atlantas are such a pain to when they do target you, that they do actually become preferential targets. So people will switch off a battleship, try and deal with the Atlanta, and then move on to the battleship. So just be aware that your games could be short, because you could be a priority target. But absolutely a unique play for World of Warship Blitz. Thanks for watching.